good. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. This is going to be our mask class. And I'm wearing my mask only because I wanted to show you guys that, yes, we are still using universal precautions and staying prayed up, booed up, bunned up, everything. We're doing it for the new 2000 and I don't even know the year. It seems like this year has been really crazy. Jesus. But anyways, yeah, it's 2021. Hopefully you got vaccinated. I have my vaccinated card. That's what I'm wearing right now with my dog tags from back in the day that saved my life with the Jesus piece. My mama gave me this. The little cross. I loved it. I was in boot camp. I was scared, terrified. Didn't know where I was going to go overseas. But she gave me the cross and kept me there. Put on my dog tags. I was, oh, Jesus, God, I was so happy. I made it through. But I got vaccinated card just to let you know that I'm vaccinated so you guys don't fucking tear my head off and yell at me anymore about, are you coughing over the client? There's little particles coming out every time you speak. Yes, that's correct. You are right. You're a scientist. You're better than me. Other than that, I'm just showing people that, yes, I am vaccinated. But you don't have to be vaccinated. You know, you don't have to fall into, you know, the same lock and stuff that everybody else has to be. If you know you're indoors, you're away from crowds, you're doing what you're supposed to do, social distancing. That's a wonderful thing. And plus, if you only have a 1 or 2 or 3 clients and then they have a mask, you have a mask, you guys are good. But I got one just because of my other employment. They kind of force us to do it by a certain date and time. Hint, hint. They don't say, hey, Benjamin, you better have it by tomorrow. But no, if they say you want continued employment with us by a certain date and time, it is going to be a mandate and you have to have it done. That's why I got it done. But let me take off my mask because you can barely hear me. It's like, okay, take it off. You barely hear me. Speaking like, I don't know, that foreign language. So I love my mask. People get irritated over the mask that I wear. I don't give a fuck about them or anybody who's against equality, fair pay, equal housing, you know, the lower class. I'm part of the lower class. I mean, I'm now above the lower class, but I come from the slums, the gutter, just like anybody else, a ghetto. So I don't like how people will pick on another nationality. Like right now, the Asian community is pretty much getting beat up by white people, black people. It doesn't matter, like racist people, idiot people. That never happens in front of me, ever. I'm waiting for it to happen. I am literally waiting so I can jump out my motherfucking car and go strangle the shit out of somebody who pushes a 97-year-old. I don't give a fuck what she is, alien, dog, cat, xenomorph. I will still go protect that person, for real, for real. So that just doesn't happen in where I'm from. That's why you always have, it's always happening in somewhere far off land, distant area, rich areas or some shit. But besides that, I'm blessed. This is the mask class. I took off my mask because, yes, we're doing good. Our client is doing good. She doesn't have a mask because how are we going to do a mask class without, you know, removing a mask? The first mask we're going to go into is pretty much prepping. We're going to prep the skin. We'll do a nice cleanse. We'll go from there, see if we have any uneven hair or unwanted hair, peach fuzz. We're going to get rid of those because to do a mask, you really need to get as smooth as a shave or skin where it's not blocked or clogged, blackheads, whiteheads, uneven skin tone, hyperpigmentation. You want to take care of those issues kind of before all of these masks. Some of these masks will help with hyperpigmentation and everything like that, but it can't help unless you tear down the face with microdermabrasion, dermaplaning, a good cleanser, chemical peel, and then do your mask, because now the mask can heal. You send them home with these masks that we're going to work on today. Okay, let's get started. That's nice. Smells good. It's gonna be a toner. No cold. Warriors mindful of the hairs, maybe hair, all that good stuff. I got you. far to the left as we can. Perfect. Yep. Back to neutral. Perfect. Cold. Go up as much as we can to the right. Perfect, right? So now that we've cleansed the skin and did a little bit of light dermaplaning, and we only got a little bit of hairs off, which is good. She's been taking care of her skin. She's been doing very well. So after all this process, let's just say somebody comes in and they're fresh and clean just like her, but sometimes they're not. So you're gonna have to do a nice cleanse, dermaplaning, exfoliation, sugar scrub, all that good stuff, micro or diamond tip microdermabrasion, or even a chemical peel, then add the mask. But that's something when you have a 90-minute or 2-hour facial or longer. For this client, we're just gonna show you how to put on the mask. We're assuming everything is off. So this is what you would have when somebody just comes in and you're looking gorgeous. You can wear gloves if you want to. I'm gonna take mine off. I like that personal contact and feel. I'm gonna sanitize my hands. Right, nice and sanitized. From here, we're just gonna go ahead and straight into doing the mask, and I'm not gonna talk. I'm just gonna mix each and different, or every different mask by itself, and then just keep on rolling. What you want to do is grab your bag. This is your #1 bag. The #1 bag has all of your clay masks, clay only. So clay mask here. This bag, I have your additives. Additives like chamomile, rose hip seed, baking soda, activated charcoal, turmeric, so on and so forth, cinnamon. That's what's in this bag. Separate both of them. Even though they are kind of powders, one is by itself, one is an additive that you add to this, okay? I'm about to go over that in a minute. So for now, unzip your bag and lay out all of the items that you're going to use. Now, all of my bags are labeled turmeric and so on and so forth. Label your bags. Sometimes I know you guys are great chefs, cooks in the kitchen, but if you don't know what you're putting on somebody's face, white clay, then be careful. Make sure you label your bags, cinnamon, so on and so forth. Put your bag away or out of the way. So you have matcha tea. This is Brazil clay. Put everything to the side and then straighten them up. To where they're all in a uniform order. Right? So since you have everything in line, let's begin. So the first item you'll need is a spoon. You need a little small cup. You'll need bentonite clay, activated charcoal, and there's one more bag. Just searching for it. Found it. Turmeric. So all of these are powders. And you preferably want to use a rubber bowl. Get some water. Or you can use rose water. Either one. We're going to use water. You could use distilled water or regular water. Distilled is the preferred method, but you don't have to all the time. And this is a tablespoon, by the way. So you take a nice sized tablespoon of turmeric. You can use 2 tablespoons if you want to make it thicker. I just use 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon of activated charcoal powder. Add it to the bowl.
Zip up your bags so they don't leak or spill. I should have did that, but sometimes I don't get it right. Now we're adding a tablespoon of bentonite clay. Make sure you grab a fan brush. Wipe off your fan brush if you used it before. You don't want to have any other additives or alcohol or anything that could disrupt your clay. Make sure it's dry. Take a little bit of water. I would say maybe 2 teaspoons, or correction, 2 tablespoons. If you did teaspoons, it would be 4. But we're going to add in 1 tablespoon. I just eyeballed it and now I'm mixing everything up. So just like a chef, sometimes you can just eyeball it and see I got it wrong, so I had to add in some more. You always are on the better side of adding than trying to take away. You can't take away the additives once they get wet, but you can always add water. Now you want to break up all the clumps. It may take a little while, and then apply it to the skin. Let your client know that you're applying it first so you don't shock them. You apply it smoothly on the face. And let's talk about some of the benefits of the clays that we just added and mixed together. So bentonite clay is great for acne-prone skin. It dries out the skin and absorbs toxins. We use activated charcoal because it draws out toxins as well, and it fights acne. Turmeric powder is high in antioxidants, reduces pigmentation, and it evens out the skin tone. So the mask that we just put on the client's face right now, as you can see, it's a oily to acne prone skin type of mask. So somebody who's very oily, and I do mean very, or has a lot of open pores and acne's grade 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is a great mask to add. And also the great thing about this mask, you can always apply it to anybody's or any skin type, even if they have dry, sensitive skin. But just layer it as a light layer like I did. If you want to make it super thick, just add in more powders. Add 2 tablespoons instead of 1. So now I'm going to make sure my hot towel is safe to put on the face. I just tapped it on the wrist like the little baby bottle before you give it to the baby, so it's not too hot. Tell the client you're about to wrap their face into the towel or the towel into their face. And press and hold. Soften up that mask because I fast forwarded through the video, time lapsed it, so we could get through everything. But normally you would want to wait for the mask to solidify and go into the skin. Give it at least 10 minutes. Sometimes you can get away with 5 minutes, but 10 minutes is a general rule for any mask. And if you want to do more than 10 minutes, that is totally fine. It's just harder to take off. Now, only reason I'm using white and it's a hot towel because this one, once it dries, activated charcoal and turmeric, oh yeah, it's kind of tough to get off. So you kind of want to use a hot towel, but it messes up white towels. So try to use darker towels, but white towel is all I have. And this is just a lesson to those who work in the spas who love white towels. But this is why you don't use white towels, because even if you clean it with the best solutions in the world, or you have the best washing machine, dry cleaners, whatever, I guarantee you, you cannot get out certain stains. They will always be on your towels. And if a client comes in and looks at those towels, they're not going to want to get a facial from you. So remember, use dark towels or use sponges, as you can see right now in the video. I'm using compressed soft sponges. And all of these items you can purchase. All you have to do is scroll down on the video, and it should say a little small button. It's not highlighted, but it says show more or description box. And you click on it, and it will drop down and will show you all the items you need for any of my facial services. And you can purchase them through Amazon or any other sites that I have listed on there. And they have quick delivery, rush services. So if you need it by tomorrow or overnight, they can get it done. So here I am gently removing the mask. Now we're working with a mature skin type, because remember, your number one clients that you're going to work with is normally always going to be oily to acne prone skin clients. But the number two person that comes into your clinic is normally going to be mature skin, aging skin. So when you age, we can always age gracefully. And the mature skin, I actually ran out of battery for some reason, and I forgot to actually mix everything to show you guys how I mixed it, but it's the same as the first one we just went through. But we're just adding in these different powders and additives. We're adding in French clay, matcha powder, turmeric powder, rose powder, coca powder, 2 tablespoons of water, and pretty much all the additives and clay powdered masks require 2 teaspoons. Now you can use a tablespoon if you want to, like I used in the video, but these powders, all of them mixed together, you might just want to use the teaspoon, because a tablespoon is almost too much. You have a lot of powders this time. The other first mask that we use is just only 3 powders. And now we have 5 powders. And coca is very thick, so you might want to just use a teaspoon. So we're going to add it to the face. Nice thin strokes. You do not need to saturate the client's face with a lot of product. As you can see, even in the bowl, it's too much. And I only added a little bit, like I said, a teaspoon, and I still have a lot. That's why these masks will kind of never really run out. Even if you had a whole year's of clients, you probably still have a lot of product left to use. And as you've seen in the earlier videos, how big the containers are, or the bags that hold the product or powders. So they last you a long time. Less is best. So this is the mature skin mask. Now let's go over the benefits while I'm taking the mask off. All I'm doing is removing the mask with soft sponges, those compressed soft sponges. They're soft for the face. So for French clay, it was one of the first additives I added in, but I didn't record it. So French clay is great for mature skin and oily skin. It tightens pores, boosts circulation, reduces inflammation, and evens the skin tone. The next one was matcha powder. So matcha powder is high in antioxidants, and it fights free radicals. You know, those free radicals that linger in the air and they latch down on our skin, you know, because they either lost a molecule and they'll latch onto yours because you have fresh skin. Oh yes, this helps with those damaged skin cells needed to protect your skin. So matcha powder is very, very powerful in fighting off free radicals. And then, as we said earlier, with the turmeric powder, it's high in antioxidants as well, and it reduces hyperpigmentation, and it evens the skin tone. So then we talked about, or I added in rose powder. So the rose powder, if you think about even like in Cleopatra's day, they were always using rose powder even way back in the day. Now, before we go on to the next mask, Now, this is just a warning. Your skin is going to look like it's yellowish or like a golden color, and that's because of the turmeric. Now, no worries. We can always get rid of the yellow color by hot water. We can cleanse the skin again with a brush, and I'm going to show you in the video how we do that. But for now, we're just going to keep on moving. But this is normal because it's actually fighting. It sticks to the skin. It's a really great fighter. So if somebody gets sick, they normally have turmeric teas, turmeric powders mixed in with certain juices and smoothies and all that good stuff. Because yes, it really will stop a cough or a cold. It's antiviral, antibacterial, antiseptic. It really cleanses, inside and out. So we will get rid of that color. No worries with oil or just cleansing. No worries. So this next mask is going to be for dry skin. The first bag we're using is aloe vera powder. Use a teaspoon because we're not going to use so much this time. So only a little bit. We're going to use cocoa powder. Teaspoon. Remember, less is best. Sea kelp powder. And this is sea clay, also known as green clay. Oatmeal powder. And for both of those, we just add in a teaspoon for both of them. Add in about a tablespoon of water, maybe a little bit more. Use your fan brush, make sure it's clean. And all you're doing is mixing all the ingredients. Make sure you mix well, and then you're going to apply it to the client's face. So now for this dry skin client who comes in and you made this mask, what are the benefits? So the first powder that we used was the aloe vera powder. And so for that type of benefit for the aloe vera powder, it's full of antioxidants and minerals, which can help speed healing and moisturizing, and it's good for all skin types. The second one we used was the cocoa powder. And remember, the cocoa powder was full of antioxidants as well, and it blocks harmful free radicals in the body. So we're applying it to the face, nice and even. It may be a little runny. That's why I used a little bit too much water. So remember, just use 1 tablespoon, but we still caught it. See, I just caught it. Yep, I'm a professional. And then that third clay we used was the kelp powder, the sea kelp powder. And so sea kelp powder is high in iodine, and it's full of antioxidant, and it contains helpful moisturizers that soften the skin. Yeah, sea kelp powder is awesome. And then lastly, we used oatmeal powder. So then the oatmeal powder, just like we said earlier, it moisturizes and it soothes the skin. It's good for all skin types. It's almost like a calming type of clay, or powder, I should say. And see how nice it applies to the client's face. And if that person has dry, irritated, itchy skin, put this on their face. Oh yeah, it will calm and soothe, moisturize, nourish, all the goodness that dry, irritated, itchy skin needs. And make sure you take your time applying the mask. Nothing's a race. Nice and easy. So now we're going to use a hot towel. And here we go again, showing you guys why we don't use white towels in spas. And if you do, it's going to be an expensive bill for you, because you're going to keep washing these towels and you're going to keep having marks on them. And this is why. These clays and powders will stain. But they are the easiest to get the clay off all in one stroke. So that's why I'm using them in the video, and to prove a point that some salon owners who thought they knew better than me and said, hey, I can clean my towels, and they still have stains in their towels. This is why. They're great for your face, but to prove that they are powerful, they cling on to any fabrics, skin. Oh yeah, they do their job. So you remove it. See, that wasn't too bad. See, that's why I like a hot towel, because if you use your sponges, which I'm about to show you in a minute, it takes a little bit of a time. And sometimes time is not on our side when we're giving a mask for a facial. That's why most places don't like you using actual clay masks, because yes, they are time consuming. So now we're using our sponges just to follow up, get any touches, like a little touch up, getting the edges, get anything between the hairs, the hairline. Oh yeah, in between the nose. And see, I forgot a little spot underneath the chin, which I rarely ever forget, but in the video I did. Get in between the nostrils, in between the cracks of the lips, underneath the chin area, lower lip area, ears, neck, all that good stuff, especially the hair. We don't want any mess ups, especially if somebody loves their baby hair, but they would have a hair wrap anyway. My client does not have a hair wrap because her hair, just micro mini braids, they already fall out of the way. I don't have any stragglers or strands of hair in my way. We're good to go. But usually you would wear a hair wrap. Oh shit, here we go, a hair wrap. Because, we're about to do another mask that's actually kind of drippy. Especially when we get to our wet mask, we need a hair wrap. And here we are, we're laughing about it, we're discussing like, okay, do we really need the wrap? Yes, it could get into your hair. She's about to go on vacation. You do not want this messing up your hair. So we're putting on a hair wrap, and this will catch hairs. You can use a hair wrap, you can use a sweatband, you can use a hair tie. The next mask we're going to go over is for your sensitive skin clients. So remember, your sensitive skin clients, when they come in, oh yeah, they want to know how to treat their skin if they have rosacea, if they have some sort of port wine stains, or if they have psoriasis or eczema, any skin inflammatory response that they have on their face. It could just be from histamines, it could be from allergies, it could be from a lot of things. So we're going to use this type of mask for sensitive skin clients. If they go out to the sun and all of a sudden their face turns bright red, they have a sensitivity. That's not dry skin, so there's a difference. So just make sure you know what your client has. So if they come in for sensitive skin, the first mask, or actually clay, that we're going to use is rose clay. We're going to take everything out of the bag. Next one, we're going to use chamomile. Chamomile is wonderful. Aloe vera powder. Flaxseed powder. And coca powder. And I should mention the coca powder is unrefined. It doesn't have sugar in it at all. So it smells good, but it does not taste good. When you put it in your mouth, like, ugh, craziness. But the strength of it is in there. The antioxidants, all that good stuff. That's true coca powder. So put everything back in the bag. Put a little bit of a teaspoon of cocoa powder in your bowl or glass bowl, which we're using. Use a teaspoon of flaxseed. Zip it up, put it back in your bag. We're going to use aloe vera powder, just a teaspoon. We're going to use chamomile powder, teaspoon. As you can see, I'm getting lower and lower, or using less and less and less of the product. And with just a few taps, or maybe even a teaspoon of the rose clay. As you can see, the pinkness right there, pink rose clay. A full tablespoon of water, 1 and 2. Now you don't have to balance it over like I just did, but I don't have a proper sink or anything in the room, so I had to balance it the way I could. Mix everything up together. Mix, 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 mix. Now I fast forward the mixing. Mixing can take at least up to a minute, maybe a minute and a half, sometimes even 2, because some of these powders, even with water, you have to keep mixing them. And this is why most spas don't really have these masks, because yes, they are time consuming, but they're so great for your skin. As you can see, her skin is glowing, like good grief. Jesus. Yes, if you do these masks once a night or every other night, oh yeah, that acne will go away. Yes, your skin will be fresh. You will have your mature skin looking like flawless, beautiful, gorgeous, youthful skin. So that's the benefit of using these masks. So now I'm applying it nice and light. Let's talk about the benefits of our sensitive skin additives and clays. So we talked earlier, but we never discussed the rose clay because we haven't added it yet. So rose clay is much more, gentler for the skin. It's great for acne prone skin and sensitive skin. So it's a gentle clay to where it's not going to harden, solidify, and anger your dry, itchy, irritated skin. Oh yeah, soothing. And then we added in some cocoa powder. We went over cocoa powder before, but let's do it again. It's full of antioxidants and it blocks harmful free radicals in the body. So then after that, we added in some chamomile powder. And the chamomile is wonderful. We didn't use it before, so we used it now. And chamomile powder helps fade scars. It fights acne and reduces skin irritations by neutralizing free radicals. Oh, yeah. So it's a gentler free radical fighter, so it's not so harsh, but oh yeah, it does its job in neutralizing them. So some defend, but this one neutralize, it kills. Oh yeah, that's how powerful it is. So we moved on to flaxseed, and it's our first time using flaxseed. The flaxseed powder is best known for its high antioxidant inflammatory levels. So it's good for all skin types. So if you do have inflamed skin, flaxseed's the way to go. Just like a smoothie, you have stomach irritations, they normally put flaxseed in your smoothie, green smoothie, island smoothie, whatever smoothie you eat, strawberry, kiwi, all that good stuff. Calm that stomach down, those acids, flaxseed. And we we already went over cocoa powder, but that's what's in the sensitive skin mask. And now we're just removing it with the soft sponges. Now the chamomile powder actually coagulates or it bunches up. So don't be alarmed, that's how it's supposed to look. But it will come off. Or it will solidify and then it comes right on off. But it loves to stick to the skin. Look at that skin, gorgeous. And you see the rose, the pinkness of the skin. The rose is all into that skin. Oh yeah. Now, as you can see, like I said, it coagulates very well and it beads up, but it acts as a gentle exfoliation. And that's what you're seeing falling on the towel right now. And that's the chamomile and the flaxseed together. But like I said, it gives a light exfoliation, which is wonderful for the skin, and it makes the skin pop and glow. As you can see, her skin pops and glows. Be gentle with the sponges, just take your time, and it will all come off. Or you can actually use a hot towel. I just ran out of hot towels, so I'm using my sponges. Stuck to the skin. He even got a song about it. So my ego goes everywhere I go. So I forget the next with Beyonce.
last night. I don't have it. Go through it.
The next mask that we're going to use is a combination skin mask. Take all the powders and ingredients out of the bag. We're going to first use activated charcoal powder, turmeric powder, razul powder, aloe vera powder, chamomile powder, so we're taking a teaspoon of the chamomile powder, put it back in your bag. You're going to get a teaspoon of aloe vera powder, we're going to get a teaspoon of razul clay. I don't know why I said clay like that, like clay. Razul clay powder, teaspoon. And we're going to use a teaspoon of turmeric powder. Just a little bit. Goes a long way. I'm going to use a teaspoon of activated charcoal powder. And remember, I know I'm using a tablespoon, but I'm only filling the tip with a little bit of powder. We're going to add in a full tablespoon of water, 1 and 2. So 2 tablespoons of just water added to all the additives in clay. Gonna mix, mix, mix until you get a nice paste. You're gonna work out all the chunks and lumps. Oh, I need to add some more water because it got a little chunky. So I added pretty much 3 tablespoons of water. And now it mixes well, yes. So once it's mixed well, we're now going to apply it to the client's skin. And so this combination skin mask, let's talk about what the benefits are for all the additives and powders. So we put in a new clay, which was called razul clay. And so that razul clay is great for eliminating blackheads. It draws out impurities and debris from the pores, calming and lightly hydrating the skin, and it's great for sensitive skin. Razul clay is awesome, very powerful. We added in turmeric powder, which before we talked about turmeric is high in antioxidants, reduces hyperpigmentation, and evens the skin tone. Good and great for acne as well. And so we talked about activated charcoal powder. So activated charcoal powder draws out toxins and fights acne. So if you have super oily skin to combination skin to normal skin, it's still going to draw out those oil glands and sebum and sweat that causes acne. Going to pull out those impurities. So we also used aloe vera powder. So that aloe vera powder is full of antioxidants and minerals, which helps fight the speeding process of healing. So if you have some sort of inflamed skin, irritation from bumps and scars and acne, hey, it moisturizes and it's good for all skin types. Aloe vera powder, calm and soothing. So then our last additive that we added in was a chamomile powder. And so remember earlier, the chamomile powder, it helps fade scars, fights acne, and reduces skin irritations by neutralizing free radicals. Oh yeah. And this is for combination skin clients. those clients who have a combination of different conditions. Normally it's going to be normal to oily, but you could have a combination of sensitive and oily. You could have a combination of dry and oily, because sometimes your forehead might be super oily, but your cheeks are dry, or your chin is dry, but your nose is oily. So you have a combination. And so now we're just removing the clay from the face and the additives with soft sponges. Go nice and slow. It comes right on off. Nice and easy.